Angel Bear here, and I am going to show you how to wrap white sage. I recently foraged some sage from Southern California. Yarn or twine, whatever you want to use. I'm going to pull about 2 arm lengths, not arm lengths, arm spans, excuse me, or wingspan if you're a bird for some reason, I think you are. And then just go ahead and set that to the side. I just got some colorful yarn because I wanted to be a little festive, or whatever. Actually, to tell you the truth, I wanted something that looked kind of cosmic, but they didn't really have something that looked like it had stars in it. So, multicolor, purple, blue, pink, all that good shit. So here's my bag of sage, and I recommend that you start with hydrated sage. It doesn't have to be soaking, it's just going to take longer to dry out that way. And if you just freshly foraged it, you can let it sit out and dry for a couple of days, but don't let it get dry to where it's crispy and falling apart, because that's just going to make it harder for you. The convenience of it being hydrated is that it's more prone to stick together as you squeeze it, and that's what you want. That's the whole purpose of wrapping it. So just get your sage. You can get them equal in length, if that's great. If you have a whole bunch of different sizes, what I recommend doing is take your longer sizes, lay them out, put smaller sizes throughout on top of them, and then just like fucking roll it up like sushi, bro, and just wrap that shit like a blunt. Alright, that's got a little extra stick, so I'm gonna pop that off there. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, okay. Sorry, I get excited about sage. And just kind of, like I said, just encourage it to go upward. Just gonna keep on picking. Keep on picking. Oh, that's a good long one. I'm gonna break that stick again. Pulling them out. Since these are all turning out to be like the same length, I'll just... Ooh, who are you? Thank you for existing. I'll break that off though. Maybe a little bit of that. Yeah. Be sure to make good additions to your sticks as you use them. There's another good long one. That's really gonna stick to the top there. Just keep on sticking them, and it's gonna be thinner as I wrap it, so it's gonna look pretty fat here in a moment as I'm picking these out. Use your excess for potpourri if I didn't already say that. That's the shit. Ooh, that's a fat ass thing. I'm gonna use that in the next one. Small chunk of gun on big harvest. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. That's the one I was looking for. Ooh. That was nicely hydrated. Actually, this one's a little short. No offense. You're beautiful, you're just a little short, and we casting tall models right now. You too. Beautiful, but you're a little on the short side for this role. Okay, that one's a little better. Stick that in there and knock the leaf off. And now let's go ahead and check the size. Remember to keep your ends pretty close together if you can. If you got shorter ones in there, there's not really much you can do about that. That's looking like a pretty good size wand, actually. It's not super fat, but it's got a lot of length and it's cool. Perfect. Let's do this thing. I'm going to put the sage bag to the side. Thank you, babies. Okay, so get it pressed together. No, it's not going to stay together yet. Don't worry. We're going to get to that pot. Take your string with some excess and hold that excess down with your thumb against just some part of where you're about to make your handle. Take this and wrap it within the stems to begin with. I'm going to take it that way. I'm going to wrap it here. I'm going to put it under some other ones. I'm kind of making like an infinity symbol in there, if you can see that at all. I don't know if I'm showing the right angle. But then wrap it a couple times over the excess there. Then take your excess and just let it droop down. See what I'm saying? Then wrap this just maybe another time or two. Now, as we go up the wand, you want to have it semi-tight. You don't want to have it overly tight because it's going to make it hard for moisture to escape, and then your wand is going to take a while to dry out, which is going to suck because you're going to have this wand that like burns great on the outside where it's dry, but like just the inside stays chunky because it's still fucking full of water. Okay, which one is my excess? Okay. So, you can do the handle fairly tight. Don't worry about that so much. But now, we're going to semi-tight wrap up this. Let me get more in the view there. And don't worry about catching every single leaf on the way up. We're going to come back down. If you can see what I'm doing, squeezing the leaves as I go and encouraging them to rise up to the top of the wand. Then when you get to the top here, I'm going to spin it around. When you get near the top, go ahead and give it a couple extra wraps to hold everything together up there. And you're going to make your way back down. I'm sorry, I'm probably blocking all that. Then you're going to make your way back down. You're going to catch more of these leaves that you didn't get before. Don't worry about catching every single one of them. I'll show you what you can do about that later. Okay, now that we're back down by the handle, you see my consistency is not too heavy. It doesn't really have to be. There's a lot of sage in there. So we've got our excess hanging down. Sorry. Got our excess hanging down. We're going to take the yarn or twine, whatever, wrap it a few times up top, right? And then take that excess, pull it up, then wrap below a few times. I'm sorry, I know the lighting is not very good. I don't really have shit right now, except this dope ass camera. And I gotta pull your excess back down again and just keep wrapping your handle. You see how I'm being pretty tight with the handle? You can definitely do that. You can go, actually I'm almost to the end of it, I'll just keep wrapping the top. So then get to about the end of your rope, not metaphorically, literally, and you'll see how these are both pulled in different directions. And then you just wrap that shit, son. Let me see if I can get it a little closer together, actually. No special kind of knot necessary. If you know a cool one that would work for it to seal the deal, go ahead and do it. Never was a Boy Scout. I do love hiking though, and foraging. So just tie it, give it a few basic knots really quick. I'm going to give it 3, Holy Trinity, a good luck. And then I have a firmly but not too tightly wrapped sage wand. You're going to take your string there and cut out the excess. Don't cut the knot. Don't be stupid. And then you're good for now. I actually wrapped that one a little tighter than I meant to, but it's going to dry out right. Like I said, this one isn't hella thick, it's just hella long. And you can take this, cut off your excess leaves that are just kind of dangling about. Because you know, like when you burn sage and the embers start flying off, you don't want to burn your carpet, like, you know. Thanks for cleansing my home, bro. Can you buy me a new one? Burned down. Anyway, so just take kind of your excess leaves there that are just hanging all over the place. Trim them off and put them in some form of potpourri, you know what I mean? Put them in a glass with some other dry herbs. Just let it, that shit stank up your house. For real. Alright. It's a little better. And that one's doing pretty well. Now after you've wrapped the wand, it's got a curve. Anyway, after you wrap the wand, go ahead and let it dry out for maybe like a week or two or however long it takes, honestly. It should last a while. I have a wand over there I've had for freaking months, and it burns just fine. It doesn't smell funny. It just dried out leaf, you know what I mean? Sage can kind of go bad when you leave it in moist conditions. You let it dry out and it lasts a long ass fucking time. So, that's a really basic way. Just to review, you start off with an excess held down by one thumb, and then you just wrap it around inside of the twigs at the bottom and pull it down deep inside, because That's going to be in the middle of your handle. Be sure to remember that. You can wrap a couple times. And then you wrap up, not too generously and not too tightly, but you want it kind of tight. Sage loses its size and weight as the water moisture leaves. You go to the top, wrap it a couple times before you bring it back down and catch more of the leaves that you missed. And you wrap the handle a few times above the excess, which has been hanging down. Lift the excess up, wrap below it, and drop it back down, wrap above it, and then just tie it off at the end of your rope. And then you can take some scissors or your hand and just kind of pluck off some of the extra there and use it as potpourri. And then you should have a pretty clean wand. Just let it dry out for a week or 2 or 3 or a month, however freaking long that shit takes. I can still see some green where it's quite moisturized. I even waited a few days before I wrapped this actually, and it stayed pretty well. I kept it in cold conditions in bags. Well, kind of cold conditions, like 60s, 70s. And that's your basic sage one. Oh, stay blessed.